Don't want to complete 3. Okay, kind of shielded. See if we can't bring. There you go. Now I'm not slouching. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That is so cool that this thing does that. All right. Welcome back. The background's all blown out because it's 120 degrees behind me. Welcome to Phoenix. It is explosively hot. Today is Tuesday, September 11th. Exactly 17 years after a very important day in my life. A day when I both learned a lot and did a lot. And that's what kind of the Instagram and Facebook stuff was leading up to, is that leading up to the days up to September 11th, when this happened, I was wrapped up in my own life and the things happening in it. But you kind of live and learn, and that event put a great many things in perspective for me, things that I needed to know and things that I needed to learn. But I don't know, there's a couple important days every year for me. September 11th being one of them, where I remember what I was doing, where I was doing it, and why I was doing it. Just for argument's sake, I was working at Monmouth Medical Center in Long Branch, New Jersey, in the laboratory department, processing blood work from the floors. We process all the blood work from the floors before the laboratory, so we were the step before your blood work gets done in the actual lab by the lab technicians. And I got a call that a plane had crashed into the Trade Center, and that happens all the time. That in New York, that happened all the time. It was never a big thing. But having ignored a few warnings, they proved to be true. So I go upstairs. My boss kind of sees what's going on, and he lets all of us go upstairs one at a time while he covered our station, and go look at the news, because we were in the basement of Monmouth Medical Center. We had no access to windows, or we couldn't see what was going on behind us. We couldn't see any of that. It was a mess. We were completely isolated. Go upstairs and we see that about 40 miles away, it's going down in a big way. And I go upstairs and I'm talking to this guy, and he says, they're saying it's not a terrorist attack, but it is a terrorist attack. And now they're saying it's not a terrorist attack. And it was pretty obvious to me. It wasn't a friendly attack. It was a terrorist attack. Being working in a hospital that close to Manhattan, every hospital in our area was told that we are probably going to be needed for this one, and this is probably not the end of it. So we shipped out 100 body bags to New York. They shipped us 100 back. But back to the hospital, I go upstairs to the emergency room, and I turn the corner, and there's TVs up there, these old-fashioned TVs, and I look, and there's this giant hole in the side of the World Trade Center, and then just as the camera gets to that, it spins around, and there's another plane coming, and it catches that second plane hit, and that's when I went upstairs to the emergency room. I remember thinking, man, I shouldn't have been such a cheapskate, and I should have bought cell phones for my kids. And that's what had happened a couple months beforehand. I had refused to buy cell phones for everybody because they were just way too expensive, and no one's ever going to have a cell phone. That thing's coming and going. It's a fad. I've been wrong before. So, long story short, every September 11th, I think of what happened to my town. everything good that's ever happened in my life and everything bad that's ever happened in my life has happened in Manhattan. It's where I went when I ran away from home. I guess I didn't run away from home. I just kind of got on a bus and never really went back. I slept I was homeless for a year in New York, and I slept in the Madison Square Garden on the steps next to the newsstand on the post office side. And then boy, it's bright out here. And then I was a bike messenger for a few years. I got involved with some stuff that I should never have been involved with. Two things in particular that I should never have been involved with. But when those towers fell, it hurt in a way that I didn't know I could feel about a place. Because I was born in Long Branch. Long Branch is my home. Long Branch, New Jersey, 07740, Green Wave, all day, all night. Rockwell Posse, The Claw. My home away from home was always Manhattan. It was my little secret place that I could go to where I didn't have to be what I had to be in Long Branch. I ended up being whoever, you know. So, with all that being said and done, I watched my city fall apart, and I wasn't happy about that. Not at all. Not by a long shot. So 17 years have gone past, and this is the second time since September 11th that the actual days lined up, where September 10th was a Monday, and then September 10th in Jersey and Long Branch, it rained cats and dogs all Monday long. And then Saturday, on Tuesday, the next day, I had called out of work on Monday, and I should have called out of work on Tuesday. It was clear as a bell. If you live in California, Arizona, anywhere with blue skies, that's what New Jersey looked like from 4 o'clock in the morning all day long. It was clear as a bell. If September 11th had happened on September 10th, no one would have seen a thing. With the quality of cameras and the overcast and the cloudy and the rainy, nothing would have happened. It wouldn't have had half the impact that it did until Tuesday morning when the sun came out and we saw what really happened. But we saw it from start to finish. The first plane, the second plane, the first collapse, the second collapse, the fifth collapse, the sixth collapse, when they pulled all those buildings. Yeah, I said it. The buildings were pulled. So here we are, 17 years later. Time heals all wounds. My city's back together. Love you guys. Big up to Spanish Harlem. Big up to the Village, Varick Street. Thank you, New York, for being New York, for hurting me, for healing me, for making my life better. And September 11th is kind of a somber holiday for me in that I try to, I use it like a New Year's resolution. Every year I try to do something positive with it. And this year, everything, and by the way, this ties into it, everything I've done with this YouTube channel has been in preparation for today. All the flying, all the practice, all the pictures, everything was in prep for today. That I start a film business. And honestly, I'm kind of tired of working for other people. So not only am I starting a film business, which I'll have to do to keep the lights on, but I'm also starting my own film channel. And what we're going to do, everything is unknown. That's the name of the channel, Unknown. I'm looking for unknown car guys, unknown anything. If you're good at what you do, and no one listens, I'll listen. Let's make a show out of it. Let's make sure unknown doesn't stay unknown. I've had a fantastic past as a amateur race car driver and all that stuff, racing motorcycles, and I had a great time with it. I really, honestly did. But I never really spoke too much about it outside of other drivers, outside of my friends, or maybe some of my family. So that's what we're going to do. Welcome to Unknown. Let's learn some stuff together. Loosely based on photography, loosely based on cars, loosely based on whatever. Whatever's clever, Trevor. Feel me? I know, I sound like a white guy. It's crazy. I didn't ask for the voice when I was born. It was given to me. I wanted the Barry White voice, but they were all out. And they wouldn't let me put a black guy voice on layaway, so they said, hey, we got this voice, and we're going to have to give it to you. Maybe later we can trade it in. Good news about my voice is it always got me a job. Well, maybe it didn't give me a job, but it got me an interview. And when I showed up for an interview, I'm like, "You're not Michael. We talked to Michael on the phone. He's not security." Because see how it's funny? Because it's reverse racism because they're expecting a white guy because of the voice, and then never mind. It's too late. Anyways, welcome to the channel Unknown. Let's make some history. That is so creepy. Oh, it lost me. Oh, there it goes. Oh, searching. Oh, look at the racist camera. When things get a little dark, it loses me. Let's see if it can follow me in a circle. Oh, it lost me. Racism. There it is, it got me. And lost me. Why is this not?